Welcome to our podcast.
This is a space we've created with love, a place where real people can share their healing journeys without fear or shame. Through honest conversation and deep connection, we hope to reveal that no story is too messy or too far gone for God's grace. We're passionate about exposing cultural blind spots, sharing truth with compassion, and glorifying God as the ultimate healer. His love on the cross conquered all, and that changes everything.
And here we are again. Time for my story, I guess. But yes, anyways, I wanted to say thank you so much for the support that has been given to us so far. We are overwhelmed with joy and with responsibility. We feel very like we are responsible to be here. Responsible? Yeah. It's quite a responsibility that God has given us, but we take it serious and we want to do it right. We nevertheless would like for you guys to continue to support us in prayer. As some of you guys said that, you pray for certain things to happen. And amen to that. Thank you so much again to everyone that has comment and given us words of encouragement. We are excited. We are excited to do this. We are doing it.
We're doing it.
Yes.
As the subscriber count rose this week, I became low-key terrified and then flat out terrified.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like, you know what? We're just going to cut the string to the kite and let it fly.
Amen.
And kind of let God take the reins, and we're here for it, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
You're right. It really feels like a responsibility because
Right.
some of the subject matter is going to get heavy sometimes, and we have a fairly broad audience to care for.
Amen. But yeah, even this podcast has been a bit of a tough thing. This setup has been like this for many months. And there's been frustration because us as different cultures and backgrounds and sex, women and men, we have things that we look at differently at times, but we are united in the things that really matter. So this is why we are doing this, and we are excited, and we are doing it with all of our hearts, and we are stepping over the problems that have been presented to us so far. And I feel like that's probably part of the reason we have been blessed with people supporting us. So many people. Yeah.
Yeah, I was raised Mennonite for a reason. You were born Dominican for a reason. God brought us together for his own purpose. And here we are trying to figure that out on camera. And also like share the unique gifts. Like we are here for something good.
Right. I feel
to
like
do good.
exactly the reason, a huge reason. I think he wants to do great things in both of our cultures, the Mennonites and even though Mennonites is not a country like Dominican Republic
is a culture.
Yes,
And both of our cultures need revival.
Yes, they do, and he's working beautiful things, and I'm excited to see what the future looks like. But yes, it's time for my story.
We've been waiting for this moment.
Yes. So should we give a glimpse of what, or just get right into it? No? Yeah. Anyways, let's jump right into it, and we're gonna make 2 episodes out of this because it's gonna be a little long. But
Yeah.
I think at some point I'll write a memoir. It's not a word that is better than autobiography. They actually both they mean different things. So to me, I think memoir would fit better for writing about my story. So you guys won't get the full in-depth story, but you'll get most of it.
The good parts, huh?
Yeah. And years and years and decades from now, if I'm still alive and God wants it to happen, you can buy my memoir.
And it's like I was telling my husband today, he's only lived 38 years of his life story, and it's been a pretty crazy 38 years. So I'm not going to be writing or helping him write his memoir anytime soon, because I'm really excited what the next 38 years are going to look like.
Yes, amen. But you have such an amazing skill for writing and reading. I'm like, man, I wish I'm happy to have you by my side now because you can edit my writings. Yes, it's amazing. But
It's been a long-term dream of mine to write somebody's autobiography or memoir.
yeah, something like
So
that.
maybe I'll get that opportunity yet.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Yes, we shall get into. Hopefully, we can finish the lady that we were writing her story for one day, but that's for another subject.
Maybe
Another
she can come on the podcast.
Yes, we're not gonna say names yet, but she's amazing, and her story is like mind blowing. Really, really, it's a lady from the east. So think about that. Yes.
All
Hi,
right. Tell us.
Juan Carlos Hilario. That's my name. That's my introduction.
Born in the Dominican Republic. Tell us a little bit about your parents and their upbringing, what that was like.
Right. My parents are both they're not from the capital or the city. They're both from the different country parts of the Dominican Republic. And they both from large families. I think both have over 10 or 11 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. And, but yeah, it was hard. Poverty. So I think the reason they were able to get by with so many kids is, again, being in the country, you have more access to fruits and food, that you can cultivate on your own, grow yourself. And but yeah, my mom tells me stories sometimes that have told me story that she have to go pretty far from home with a little donkey and a sibling or two, and just to get water.
Wow.
They had to work from a very young age. Hard things, really, really hard work. And so did my dad. My dad is the oldest, so the boys were expected to go with the dad, with my grandpa, to work the land, and the girls would work at home with my grandma. But my dad, being the oldest, learned how to cook and all that stuff to help take care of the younger ones. So he actually stood at home part of the time. So, but yeah, it was hard work. I heard story of like splitting notebooks for them to go to school. You cut it after you buy a notebook. You cut it with a machete in two, or a knife, and splitting pencils, and no shoes to walk far distance to school. And yeah, my dad think my dad got into finish his middle school. My mom did not. So yeah.
Yeah, so tell me a little more about your mom. Where did she come in her family?
Number. Yes, she's sorry. I think she's number 3 or 4.
From the top?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell me about your siblings.
Sure. So my mom had I think she was 13 when she first had my brother, who she said died when he was like 3. He got sick, and that was all in the country, of course. And then
She must have had a really hard life to have a child at 13.
yes, it was not easy. But then she had 2 girls, and the dad of those 2 girls just got up and left. I don't know, did he disappear? And so my mom, as a young woman, I think she was in her early 20s by then, had to figure out ways to make it work so that she can raise the girls. So she had to leave them with some of her aunts and uncles, and went to the capitals to do to work. And that's when some years later, she met my dad, and they had me. Um, and I'm the only child from both parents, and then my dad has other kids besides me. I think it's like 5 kids on his side. One of my sisters though is I call her my half twin. She was born the exact same day as me,
Same year.
same year. Um, and ironically enough, we are the two that look the most alike, like my dad.
So same dad, two different moms, but
Yeah,
same year and
same
same
day.
day. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
very crazy.
And you guys look like twins, which is so funny.
Yeah. So she's a pretty lady like me. No, me being a cute guy, I guess. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not giving myself props. I've been told I'm cute. Anyways, that's besides the point.
And he's nothing if not authentic. So
Yes,
cute and authentic works good for me.
I try to be
Cute or authentic?
authentic. Yes,
Right.
I cannot change my looks.
Sure thing. Yeah, so your life as a child in the Dominican Republic. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? What it was like just being a little kid?
It was good. It was tough. I didn't have mom and dad at home. After my dad moved here. Well, I believe my dad and my mom were together till like I was 3, and then around 5, I was 5 when my dad did all the things necessary so that he can get into the United States. So, as for the first time coming to the United States, I was 5. My dad was, I forget how old, but yeah, that was the first time we both came into U.S. And I spent a year here, did kindergarten, and after that, after the year, my dad sent me back because the teachers were saying that I was not doing well. I was missing my mom too much, and not able to, I guess, concentrate. Forget what all
It's a
happened.
lot for a 5-year-old to be away from his mom for a whole
Yes.
year. Did you have somebody to take care of you and look after you?
Here?
Yeah.
Yes. My it would be my stepmom. Yeah, she would do that, but obviously it's not the same as your mom, right? When especially at such young age, it was really hard for me, but it was really really hard for my mom to be away from me for a whole year.
Yeah. Wow. How did
Yeah,
she cope with that?
not sure. One thing I know that I remember she saying that she had a like a little shirt that she never washed. It was yeah, one of my shirts, and she would sleep with that. But
It breaks my heart.
I know it was hard. I can And then yeah, looking at kids that age now and imagining myself, I'm like, man, it was really hard. I can only imagine. But yeah, those are my siblings. That's my little kid story for now.
So your grandparents still lived in the country. Both
Hmm.
sets of grandparents?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, no. My dad's parents. Yes. My mom's. They came to the capital, I think, before my mom came. So she came to where they were living, and so I would go during vacation, summer vacation, to where my dad was from quite often, and it was amazing. A lot of cousins and nature, no running water, no electricity, and
Back
yet,
to Earth.
yes, and yet I loved this so much more than the capital. Animals, and always love horses, so they have horses, and so I got to develop an extreme passion or love for nature and the country. Never ever liked the city. Still don't like city. New York City, Philadelphia, my city, Dominican Republic. I went to Guatemala City, no good. I don't like any place where there's too many people.
But you're living in Lancaster County,
Yes, that's a lot of
Mennonite
people.
City.
Right.
Right. Yes. Any more memories from the country?
Um.
I like the
Yes.
story you tell about your grandpa.
Oh, yes. I love that. Yeah. Well, when I remember being there and always playing with all the many so cousins I had, and sometimes my grandpa would come from working the land, and my country's always hot, so he would come and take his shirt off and kind of gross, but squeeze the sweat out of it, and then hang it and sit and kind of like fan himself a little bit and relax, and then he would bring like half of a sack of oranges, and then he set it down and start like take his big knife and start peeling oranges, cutting them in half, and one half for one grandkid, one half for another, and then keep on going because it was a lot of grandkids. And
Well, he had so many kids, I guess, too.
yeah, so it was just beautiful memories of sharing with family and playing in the mud and the dirt, cutting my own brooms, and learning how to make floor, which was a mix of like some white dirt that we would find with and mixed with cow manure.
How would you mix it?
The cow manure would be the first layer. You would try to get the softest manure, and then you throw the dirt on the top. It was like white dust. We would find that different places, and then it would compact, and that's what we would walk on. In the kitchen area, the bedrooms were separate from the kitchen.
Like in
Because-
different buildings?
Yeah, the kitchen. We didn't have propane or things like that, so we would cook with wood. And then the bathroom would be a separate area, and the shower. So, well, I would say the shower separate area, then the toilet.
How did you shower, though, if you didn't have electricity? Was that like a bucket shower?
Yeah. Sometimes, of course, sometimes you get lucky enough to get a frog in there, or
Yeah,
like jump on you, or things like that. But
so that's why you take cold showers.
colder, yeah. I can. Well, I do enjoy. I feel like it's just so refreshing to colder water.
There's some link back to those happy days in the DR.
Yes, I love the rain. That was one of my favorite things. But yeah.
Yeah, sure thing. So you did your schooling then in the Dominican Republic, am I correct?
Mm-hmm. I did all my schooling until I finished high school in Dominican Republic, and I was just a resident of the United States. So as a resident, you're not supposed to leave the country for more than 6 months, because then they say, well, you don't need your residence card, and they have the rights to take it away from you if they want. So I will have to come every 6 months.
Back to United States. And, yeah.
Yes.
Did that interrupt your schooling at all? Like, did you have to
Right.
sometimes go through the school year?
Sometimes I would miss. Well, when I come here, it would be for a week or two. So I would sometimes miss school for a week or two. But we try to. Most of the time, my dad tried to make it happen during the summer vacation.
Mm-hmm. So your dad was in the United States, in New York, and it was just you and your mom?
Yes, it was just me and my mom in the capital at home, and pretty hard.
Just describe what that was like, living in the capital.
Yeah. My mom taught me how to do all kinds of stuff at home, except for cleaning the bathroom. She never wanted me to do that, but she taught me how to sew, iron, do the dishes, broom, mop, cook, basic stuff, how to fold my laundry and everything.
Gracias, mama.
Yes. So I was able to live by myself for many years before you and I got married. Be, thankfully, I laugh because of her. She taught me a lot of the essentials. But she was a woman that struggled with depression, so it was hard. Thankfully to God, she doesn't have that anymore, but she used to, and it was hard.
Mm. How did you experience that as a child?
Well, again, it was hard. I would be the one to, make her see that everything will be okay. God is in control. He's watching, and things will come to a better place at some point. And yeah, she appreciated those words and made a difference. So we were there for each other always. And I think I remember as a young child, I promised to have a wife and treat her like my queen, and just protect her and guide her, yeah, guard her and whatever.
Because you saw how your mom was suffering from not having
Yeah,
that from your father.
yeah, she was. It was hard.
Yeah. So living there in the capital, what was that like? What was your house like?
My house. I had cousins all over the place. I mean, all around. Um, there are a lot of people, a lot of neighbors right next door, pretty much. I think you said you grew up on 40 acres, and that's just 7 siblings and 2 parents, nine people, and for 40 acres, the equivalent of that would be hundreds of people where I was at. It's just houses, right? Very small houses next to each other.
Did you live in an apartment building?
No,
No.
it was all houses.
Mm-hmm.
The apartment buildings would be more for like fancy people.
Mm.
Yes, but he was so. Therefore, you see, you learn to see community in a different way, and neighbors. Everybody was always there for helping each other out, as people have different skills. But at the same time, the some beliefs were, obviously also everybody being together were passed on, and there would be, drinking was a normal thing, and women treated women not the best, was also a normal thing. Um, yeah, there were that's not the belief from, you know the whole country. It's not what people paint it as.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is a predominant thing, but like there's many people with great families that believe in uh, sex after marriage
Mm.
and the right way and have good families. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what was your religious upbringing like?
Yes, as we said in the intro, I was exposed to 4 different religions that the other day I was thinking, this is probably why I took me so long for me to become a Christian, because I was a little skeptical about what in the world was happening, because of the fact that all these groups claim to be seeking God, but then they talk bad about each other, and it's almost like, yeah, you're making different groups to say that my group is better than yours, and similar to what some of what we experience now. But so I was exposed to Mormons. My mom's mom was is Jehovah Witness for many years. My dad's family are Catholics for the most part. My mom would always take me to evangelical churches. Um, and yeah, I love the churches which we would go, me and her, that we were going to, and it's just I never had like a figure, a manly figure there at the church that would guide me into, this is what a man looks like. This is how a biblical man looks like. So The other day I was looking at a picture of my son and I. He was like 7 on that picture, and I was just thinking like, wow, my life turned out very well compared, judging by the amount of the lack of guidance that I had to be as to how to be a man.
Hmm.
But yeah, with my mom, I went to she pushed me to work. Um, like if somebody was doing construction close to the house, she would, neighbor, she would tell me like, oh, go ask them if they need help, and yeah, if they give you something good, if they don't, good too. But she just wanted me to get my hands dirty.
I think your mom was amazing with teaching you values
Yes.
and manners and just, yeah, for where she came from, she had every excuse to not be the kind of woman that she was and still is. She's a beautiful person.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, I learned beautiful things. Definitely manners. um, a lot from them. I was annoyed too when she would ask me to shake hands, but I think every kid is that way. um, and so yeah, I learned how to be respectful. That was very important. You respect your the older people, and yeah, I have great values. My dad would also he also taught me good values despite the wrong things that were not taught from him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Did you want to tell us a little bit about grade school and middle school, how that was for you? Did you take a bus?
You said grade school? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would have to walk about 20, 25 minutes each way, one way. Um,
It's a long way
yes.
to walk for a first grader.
First grader? No, not a first grader. I would say middle school.
Okay. So elementary school was closer.
Yes. Middle school and then high school.
But you still walked as a first grader? Or
No,
no?
I don't. I mean, yeah,
How did you
we
get to
didn't
school?
have a car. We didn't have a
Right.
car, but I don't think it was long distances.
Mm-hmm. Did you have
I
people to walk with?
don't remember much about elementary,
Mm-hmm.
first grade or second grade. Um, but yes, I remember my high school years. I walk every time, each way, long distance. Especially not fun in the when you get out of school in the middle of the heat. My country is always hot, as I said, and so it was hot. You get home and look forward to the fan and um, stand in front of the fan and cold drink and whatever else and food, hoping that it was not soup, hot soup.
Tell me what it was like becoming a teenager and going to high school and just going through all that transition. It's usually kind of a big deal. And like, what were the expectations placed on you? And just, yeah.
Well, the expectation was to be a good kid, a good student. High school, I mean middle school I was going to public school. For high school, it was private, so you had to pay. My dad had to pay for that. And I remember the second day of my first year of high school is when the Twin Towers were knocked down. So that was a crazy memory. The very next day, which I actually was, this is not relevant, I guess, much, but I was in United States on Sunday, and I actually passed the Brooklyn Bridge on Saturday. Yeah, so I saw the Twin Towers Saturdays, went to the Dominican Republic on Sunday, started school on Monday, and Tuesday they were no longer standing. Crazy stuff.
No kidding. Wow.
So I was 14, and I was a good kid, good student throughout the middle school and the beginning of high school. But little after that, with my struggle with, finding who I was or wanting to be recognized or
like we talked about before, right? Needing to be seen.
Needed to be seen. Yes. I was trying to have myself being seen, and I was getting into the wrong crowd and becoming one of the funny, very funny kids. And along the same way, wanting to have a girlfriend and all that stuff. And
How much do you feel like that was affected by your father not being there?
oh yeah, a lot. I mean, I have never learned so much about the importance and the how much a father figure means in the life of a human being until I met you actually. And yes, it's crazy, but yeah, becoming a funny kid, the goofy kid, and yeah, just wanting to, I guess, sleep with a girl.
So,
And
what were the expectations for you in your particular culture? Was that normal to go to high school, get a girlfriend?
right. Yes, and sleeping with somebody, you know, after you're 15, 16, um, it's also something that they're not obviously in bedrooms looking at people that are sleeping with somebody, but it's almost like if you're not with somebody, you get to look as a down as a weird person if you're not. Yeah.
Sort of a
Well,
mark of masculinity.
yes, or things like that. That's probably why we have a bad reputation as Dominican people are a man are no good, which is I guess what you heard about me. But it's not a lot of people believe that way, like I said, but it's not the whole country that does it that way. But I was following those footsteps of wanting to experiment myself with a girl, and it wasn't until I came to the United States permanently and that it happened. I think I was 18. Yeah. So after I finished high school, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose your father's role model probably played some into that as well.
Yeah. My dad was good looking and is good looking man, and he was also he's also a guy that have found his identity into being recognized by women. Yes.
So, where do we go next? Your job?
Oh yeah, did I mention my job? I
don't
found
think so.
yeah. Um, I got a job in hardware store that actually my uncle owned.
How old would you have been when you started?
Around 15. And so yeah, hard work there. Loading trucks with shovels, with gravel or dirt, whatever we needed. Whatever the customer orders. Cinder blocks, loading trucks of cinder blocks by hand.
Wow.
And loading trucks with sometimes cement bags that are like 98 pounds. You would put, I saw the man putting one on their head and one on their hands. I'm like, I could do that too. And they're like 98, like I said, 98 pounds. So I did it one time and I was like, oh, yes, I'm a man. Except, yeah, I feel like my neck never found its place again.
98 pounds on your head?
It's not good. I don't recommend anybody doing that.
I'll say.
Don't do that. Yes.
Wow.
But hard work, and I always loved computers. I always took things apart. Always liked technology, and I got into the office, front desk, to serving people and stuff, and putting things on the computer.
What you said there about taking things apart reminds me, or can you remind me what your mom would say in Spanish?
Yes.
As a little kid, you said you were always taking things apart.
Yes. So I would find radios or things like that that didn't work too well anymore. Try to fix them, and just take one screw after the other. And she would say like, "Te van a sobrar muchos tornillos." It's almost like, yeah, she would say like, you're gonna have a lot of screws left when you put it back together. And yeah, the other day we took a air conditioner apart here, and you kept digging more into it, like trying to clean the whole thing up. And did we
We took it apart, like, pretty
yeah,
much completely.
yeah,
And his mom's saying came true. I think we had 2 screws left.
it was one screw.
1 screw.
Yeah,
But it works great.
yeah, it's
So,
holding right. So, but yeah, I should have gone to college for to do physics. I love know how things work. Um, but yeah, I did high school in Dominican Republic, as I was saying, and almost didn't finish it. Almost didn't graduate because again, the more I got to the towards the end, the less I was interested in school. So the final exams, which are with the state, some of them, um, I had to get a get a hand from a friend. Hopefully the government from Dominican Republic now.
they're going to retract your diploma.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man, I was just not into schools, which is I guess the same reason why it's all with the identity finding and the lack of, I don't know, not what we were wanting to be seen, and just feel like I was just not. I felt like I lived some in shadow so much. I wanted to just know who I was made to be and what I was meant to do,
And that's why God gives us fathers.
yes, to point us in that direction.
Mm.
But my dad has, like I say, great values. That
Yeah, we appreciate him.
yes,
I got to meet him once. That
yeah,
was great.
great man. Yes, just
Yeah.
not perfect like everyone else.
Mm.
He has a bit of a weakness for women, but that's about it. Doesn't like gossiping. Very respectful. Very service. How do you say? Servant. Very
Helpful.
helpful. Yeah, willing to serve.
Tell me about your life after high school. How did that go?
Huh. Yeah, it's not fun. Well, I saved some money when I was working. My mom would keep all my money. Not keep. I would give her my money, so she would keep it.
So you were basically supporting her
Helping her,
while
yes,
you were
and I just
with
needed
your job.
just needed money for my sandwiches and my food.
Classic teenager.
Yeah,
I just need money for food.
yes, I didn't know what to buy. I bought my computer, which put it together and all that stuff. So that was fun. But other than that, I didn't need. I was not a guy that cared for clothing ever or anything else. So I bought my computer and all that stuff, and she would save my money and use whatever she needed for grocery or whatever. And yeah, when I finished high school, I had the opportunity to do very well, but me and her, we knew that this country had more opportunities and there's a better chance of living better and safer. So yeah, we were talking, and sure enough, put some cash together and bought my ticket. And I told her I'll be back as soon as I can to visit you, and I'll get all my paperwork in place to become a citizen.
Is that a hard separation?
Yeah, it was. So that I can request for you to come here too. It was hard, but obviously at that point I was more of a man that she was okay with that. So yeah, I came here, and later after that I became a citizen by 4 years. But when I came here, I was that's when I stayed here permanently. I went to New York, the Bronx, which is where I would go. I would come every time I had vacations, every time I had to visit US, which it was every 6 months, so I don't lose my resident card. Um, and so I stay in New York in the Bronx with my cousins, which is the place I used to live. So I was there. My dad was helping me because I didn't have a job then. And
Was your dad living in New York at
he
that
was
point?
in Allentown then,
Okay.
and but I wanted to live in New York with my cousins. That's where. So it's Dirk his cousins, so a little generation above me, and their those cousins had kids, which were my cousins of doing crazy stuff. uh, but was living there. I would have like a sandwich bed that I would have to open every night in the living room and close every morning so that people can use the living room. And we that's where I was living.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit on the crazy stuff?
Yeah, right. Well, some of the crazy stories. I remember my cousin got a car, and me without any license or not even a state ID yet, only my passport and residence card. One time I was driving his car, and I was just thinking, I mean, if I speeding in the highway without any of that was pretty bad. But we also remember one crazy story we had. We were getting into all kinds of goofy people, young kids stuff, but we had it's almost like the result of our childhood memories in life. Because every time I would visit, it was awesome, just doing all kinds of. But this time we were stepping into bigger, deeper waters, and we were obviously not 21 yet, so we wanted to do house parties for kids that were under 21.
And this is in
The Bronx.
apartment building close to the Yankee Stadium, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
which is where we were living, and so my cousin would became friend with some of the superintendent or the supervisor or the maintenance people that in charge of the building, and he would let my cousin would ask him how if there was any empty apartments, and he would rent it behind bars and
Behind bars?
behind bars under the table or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
behind the curtain, and so he would rent it. My cousin would have to give him some money, and to make that money, we would have to charge entrance for the party. So we would throw parties there, and my cousin was into doing DJ stuff, so he was really really good at that. So we would throw parties for kids that couldn't go to the club because they were not 21 or young people, and they would get pretty crazy, intense, and sometimes you have arguments, and luckily nothing major drastic happened inside. But one time we got into the hallways, and there was an argument, and one guy pulled his gun and pointing at another guy right in his face, and the kid was just like, "What? You're not gonna do it?" I was like, if it was me, I would just be peeing myself and begging not to shoot. Well, you get
Not
to
sure what peeing yourself would help, but I mean.
Oh, right. We're just scared. Like, if this guy just shoot. But no, kids, we just know. Like, when you're young, you don't think of the consequences much. Yeah. So, that was funny stories. And that's the kind of things, we would stay up late. We were of a group that were never interested in doing drugs. So that was good. So I never done, not even cigarettes. I actually tried a cigarette, but that was as a little kid. Just I saw somebody through it. I'm like, what is that? And I went in. It's the most gross things. But it might have been way under 10 years old there.
So how did you keep from getting in trouble with these house parties?
Yes, that's a good question. I don't know. I think there was cops that showed up one time, and they just shut the music down and tell us to leave and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's always crooked stuff going, places of life.
And you mentioned that you charged admission.
Yeah.
How did you collect that, or how did you make sure everybody paid?
We would get big, tough, big guys, big looking dudes, and we get them at the door to charge them, get in charge of collecting the money. Sometimes we will have like free ladies night, and so that would his parties would get very packed.
So that the ladies didn't have to pay. They could just
Yeah, it was just like a bunch of high school kids. The end of the high school era. That would get together, and his name got to be quite well known, and so I was part of that fun crew that was making people have fun. Yeah.
doing what you do best.
Yeah. But so yeah, I got a job some point after, and moved into my own bedroom with an old lady. It was her apartment. She had an empty bedroom, and so I rented it. And then again, going to sleep late and doing things that were not right. I would get up late and make it to the bus that I had to go to. Had to walk like 15 minutes to go take that bus that would take us to New Jersey to work at a Windows factory type of thing. And sometimes I would miss it. And
Oops.
yes, so I got fired at some point. And
So did you move out from your cousins just basically for more space?
yeah, just to exactly not to have to open the bed every night, and just have all my stuff in one place, and yeah, just become a man, doing my own thing by myself. And which is, I guess, around the time that something happened. That I finally was. I thought sometimes I would think like, man, am I gonna die a virgin? Which obviously again comes tied into the belief of you have to have sex so that you can experience life and whatever. And so around the end of 18, that's when it happened. But total disappointment. Didn't think it was the latest and greatest.
Isn't that how those things are?
Yeah, hear more about that later. But there's no such thing as a fulfilling connection unless you're body, mind, and soul into it. Just two people that really love each other. Which is what God made it into to be that way. Marriage between one man, one woman, forever. That security and that beauty and that blessing and that knowledge that He's also in the act.
Amen.
Yeah. It was always shallow and just there was always something about it that was not peaceful. It was good at the moment, but then it was just shame and shame and shame.
And I can't wait to get into how Jesus took that away.
Amen. Yes.
We have so much good stuff coming.
Yeah. We could tell more about my next move, next location, I guess, on the next episode, right?
I think that's kind of,
Because
good
I think
place to split.
from there,
or the episodes.
right, from there to into the part where we are now. No, until I met you. Yeah, it's I think it's a good place to stop here.
Yeah.
Because the other one would take probably about the same amount of time. And that's why I say it was probably a better idea for me to write a book, because it's a lot of details and things that were not covered, and things that make it more exciting. But I'm sure with what I share so far, there is more crazy. Well, the craziest part of my life is coming on the next half for sure. The most impactful times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like this part of your story has. You did well at giving a glimpse into some of the breaking that God
Mm-hmm.
used, or some of the circumstances God used to shape you. And the next episode, I feel like is going to go more into how God just really clinched His work in
Mm-hmm.
you
Right.
and kept pursuing you.
Amen. He was always there, that's for sure. From the time when I was being formed in my mom's belly
Mm.
until now, I
To a
can.
lost high school kid, and then an 18-year-old living alone in New York. I can't
Yeah.
imagine the loneliness and the lack of value and belonging, not
Right.
having a security to always go home to.
Yeah. And that's what we say. We want to help people know that there's hope, even if they're going through that.
Good things coming.
Yes. All right. Thank you for getting this far with this episode. We will put the other half, I will say, next week, Lord willing. And we hope that it would be a blessing also, and just something that will point you to God in one way or another.
And thank you for sharing so vulnerably. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes. Thank you for asking questions, even though you knew some of the answers. Yes, but I guess this is how it works, right? All right. Thank you so much. Continue to pray for us, please. That's the main thing we want to ask. And you will see us on the next one.
See you next week.
Bye-bye. Now I know in part, then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. Now abide faith, hope, and love. These three. The greatest of these is love.